So Pat, related to kind of what we were talking about previously and plans that put inventory closer to the consumer as possible in this whole evolution of the micro fulfillment center, when you look to incorporate a micro fulfillment center, clearly it's not as easy as just taking available space and putting inventory into it. What are some of the things that you need to do to think about localization of your assortment and what should go where and how much of it should go into each location and kind of some of those upstream supply chain considerations?
Those are the tough questions right now. Historical data is not really playing well into it. It is much more live data coming out that people are asking for this type of stuff. And when I say people, it's all businesses. It's not just retailers shifting the focus, it's all. I don't care if you're WW or Grainger or you name the Medline, you name the industry, everybody's facing the same issues, John. And they're all trying to figure out how to get it so it gets there, and especially in the delivery challenges we're having in today's world, how to get something on a truck or a vehicle and get it there in a short amount of time. That's almost as big of a question as the inventory allocations across different nodes.
Right. I mean, there's kind of two elements here, right? One is from a supply chain perspective, how do I model my network and understand, either by looking in the rearview mirror or looking at seasonal forecasts going forward or something, how do I model what capacity I need in my supply chain, what inventory should be in, there's kind of the supply chain view, the traditional network modeling exercise, right? The giant model that you might build. Then there's the merchant, right? The inventory manager that's got to figure out, where do I put this product to have the greatest likelihood of selling it at full price? And what sort of analytics do I need to do to understand what my anticipated demand is going to be by channel, by geography, and then optimize my ability to meet that demand by placing inventory close to the consumer where I can still fulfill that demand cost effectively. Any thoughts on how you balance that traditional supply chain model with kind of the inventory management view?
In my perspective, that's been all thrown out the window. Think about, we're now approaching June 1st. How would you like to be the merchant that's doing summer wear? And where to put the summer clothing, swimsuits, you name it, because you just don't know what's coming. Food, on the other hand, is now kind of started settle down, because we've been at it now almost 3 months, being at home, cooking a whole lot more. And so they're able to provide some aspect of prediction, but to predict going in through the summer months and how it's going to change historically, still a tough call to make.
Let me take you one step further and let's talk about holiday peak 2020. Right? How much demand do you think will remain online and direct to consumer versus ultimately transition back to the store? I mean, I think, if I pick on my parents for a minute, who are both in their 80s, who've never used Instacart in their life, right? But now have figured out how to buy groceries from home, I don't anticipate that they'll ever go back to the grocery store. I mean, there's some stickiness of this sudden migration we've had into the world of e-commerce for some categories or products that we might not have purchased that way previously. What do you think the impact of all of that's going to be on peak this year and where we put our product in our network?
Well, I don't believe it's going to be a hockey stick straight up. Everybody's not going back to the stores. Everybody's not going to be spending like it's never like the bull market's never going to end. People are, you see the stats, people are saving more money, trying to save more money. If you're employed, employment is one of the big key factors. But the idea is that have Americans changed their buying habits in the last 3 months? Absolutely. Has it accelerated the program of buy online, get delivered, or pick up someplace? It has accelerated tremendously in my point of view.
And a lot of retailers have complained traditionally when they tried to leverage store inventory and do buy online, ship from store, that it's not as cost effective in terms of labor. It's more prone to errors because the store associates aren't trained warehouse fulfillment experts. It's taking time away from the selling floor. It's fractionalizing the inventory that they've placed into that store and now double or triple handled it. So while they've saved the sale, it's been very difficult to actually do so profitably. What do you think the role of automation is going to be in all of this in terms of localized fulfillment?
Well, I think there's really two key components there, John. One is safety. More automation means less handling and more capable of controlling how things are handled. And there's a big push out there right now about a safe package, something safe delivered to you. And automation is really driving that less people in the aisles, less people walking around, hate to say it, less people sneezing. So automation really kind of lends itself to the solution. The other part of it is, and I'm big on this, is the historical justification for improvements to your operations and stuff. You can throw those out the windows because it's not saving the sale. It's having a sale. It's actually getting a customer and being able to serve them the way they want to be served quickly. And I know I went off topic. Sorry.
No, I think it's important. Customer expectations and meeting or exceeding them is really now the KPI that's probably most relevant for e-commerce. It's not units picked per hour, it's customer retention and repeat business, especially when we're looking for an e-commerce channel to pick up for our retail channel. But any final thoughts on this one before we wrap up?
Yeah, so I'll pick on you a little bit. It's not e-commerce channel anymore.
Yeah.
It is just sales channel. It is how do you get it to your customer most effective. And that's why the justifications are all turned on their heads, because there are the old ones, which is ROIs, units per hour, blah, 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 blah. It's now, hey, I want a replacement lawnmower blade. How do I get it?
Right, and I want to have the same quality experience, whether I drive to your store, order it online, or some hybrid of the two. That makes perfect sense. Thanks, Pat.